Yes, okay, fucking literally it's lockdown time. It started just now, 8 o'clock. Fuck that shit. Thigh. Hello, Shieldsy. Nobody. Lockdown buddies. Queensland, New South Wales, Victoria. And hello, Luke and Megaleech. I was just going to start off by making myself a drink with the last of my Starward Dolce single malt whiskey finished in dessert wine barrels. Man, it's got a really interesting aroma. It's got that whiskey-ish thing still going on. Hey Luke. So you and Megaleech are in no lockdown zone. Hello, Raiders. A little sippy sip before I mix some stuff with it. Honestly, not my favourite. But anyway, I'm going to make a version of a Dubliner with it. Which would be a Melbourner, I suppose. Okay. Orange liqueur. Thought I was going a bit heavy on the pour there, but I stopped myself. And some sweet vermouth. That's about enough of that. It's just a slight variation on a Manhattan, basically. Dash of orange bitters. Will do. And here we go. And hello, Safa. I did see the thing about Dubbo having COVID detected in the wastewater. That was interesting. So much fucking fun. So I just made that in the glass. Stir with my finger. Cheers, y'all. Yeah. Oops. What was I doing? I hadn't finished. I was doing my Simpsons Tapped Out. And I didn't finish it before the stream. So if I had to race for you to get next Tuesday, what are you trying to do next Tuesday? Get my second AstraZeneca dose next Tuesday. I'll be fully vaccinated and can look down my nose at people who are eligible but aren't fully vaccinated yet. Are you going to get vaccinated next Tuesday? Vaccination centres will still be open, I'm sure. Nettie, is like if it was Irish whiskey, it would be a Dubliner, and it's Melbourne whiskey, so it's a Melbourner. I just used the last of my Starward Dolce. It's for shelf space. I ordered a new bottle of Starward today. I'm just fucking going to town, but I've got shelf space, so Starward are releasing another limited edition that was finished in peat whiskey barrels. I'm quite looking forward to getting that. But I do have all these. I'm going to taste them. My Applewood gins, then probably make mini martinis with them. So if you're saving for something electronics, yeah, well, I'm just spending all my fucking stuff in there. Luke, am I linked with my MyGov? I don't know. I mean, it's me. They record my Medicare card when I get it done. Wait, freaking what? Oh, for fuck's sake. Sorry, thing is messing with me. Yeah, I thought maybe it was automatic because, you know, they take your Medicare number when they give you the vaccine and whatnot. Oh, MyGov always locks you out. All right, yeah, I'm not that well versed in MyGov, I have to admit. Sorry, I'm just trying to sort this out before I... Oh, for fuck's sake. Right, well, that was just annoying. Tapped the wrong thing. Very annoying. All right, got to race through this. Stop paying attention to it. You just tap, 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 tap. Some of these are very repetitive things. And I just have to set them all to a task, and I'll put it away. Come on. Come on. Don't know if you can hear the little Simpsons sound bites when I tap on things. All these little callbacks to it. Okay, so that's that. Oh no, I have to do this. I have to do a bunch. I have to fast tap a couple hundred times because I have a couple hundred characters. And they're all going to do the same thing. So I have to tap really quickly a couple hundred times. Yeah, at some point I might, possibly even before Tuesday, I might check MyGov. I assume I registered a MyGov thing at some point, you know. Who remembers this shit? Who remembers this shit? Not me. But yeah, it should all be hunky-dory. And so, yeah, I was thinking of going into the office because the vaccination centre is not that far from where I work. Won't be going into the office now because of lockdown, so I'll just drive into the vaccination centre and then drive back home. Continue work from home. I mean, Jesus, speaking of working from home, don't know how much they're fucking getting out of me tomorrow. Kind of got the shits now. And might have a few drinks tonight. So, put the last couple of them to bed. That's it. They're all put to bed. I'll put this away now because that was rude. So, Nettie, I've told you you link Medicare to MyGov and you get your certificate. I will check at some point. Luke, you did a bit of work in town, then on a bus ride back to the Adelaide Hills. Nice. Safa pre-party. I'm just, fuck it, man. Anyone expects anything sensible out of me tomorrow, they're barking up the wrong fucking tree. Ugh. So, yeah. So, yes, the whiskey is my warm-up drink. And then I might have a bit of water to cleanse my palate. And then I'll taste these gins because they all kind of, they smell like gin. They actually smell mostly like juniper. And there's very slight differences in the smells. I'm going to be very interested to see the tastes. What fabulous tastes I get out of them if they taste really different. And then I think I'll make a mini martini with it. Not full-size martini. Particularly not my version of a full-size martini, because my version of a full-size martini is pretty goddamn generous. I'm just going to say it. There you go. Second jab. Safa, when will we get our booster jab? Next year. I think there will be a recommended booster jab 6 to 12 months after your second one, like at the start of flu season next year, most likely. I don't think there'll be like booster ones, third jabs until next year's flu season. So April, May next year would be the earliest I would expect. But who knows? This world is very strange. Very, very strange, and you never know what's going to happen. Right, advice you got from a friend at St. Vincent's, second AstraZeneca has less effects than the first. That is what I heard, and the opposite for Pfizer. Yeah, a couple of my friends with the second dose of Pfizer had a few side effects. Money is a game. Emma on Twitch. That's Phillips on Twitch. Am I stocked up for the knockdown? Well, like 3 bottles of gin arrived today by sheer coincidence. So there you go. Yeah, Luke, people who don't wear masks on buses suck. I'm glad you did it. Ian, hello. Nettie getting into a onesie, not getting out of it till the end of lockdown. That is a fair call. Musical aviator got home a smidge after 8 through a traffic jam. Past a bus that was displaying destination bus full. God damn. Yeah, Ian, I fucking need a drink tonight. Jesus. We'll see where to go. I am going to drink a fair bit of gin in the next hour. And we'll see what happens. Honestly, we will just see what happens from there. Safa, post will still be delivered. Posts and courier work is an essential service. Stuff will keep getting delivered because this is not even as intense a lockdown as we had last year, and stuff still got delivered last year. Ian called into jury duty on the 4th of October, middle of getting a medical certificate because of issues wearing masks. That's fair. That's absolutely fair. Although, same token, we might be locked down still on the 4th of October. No, let's not be that negative. Luke, you think New South Wales locked down to Christmas? I tell you what, unless they put the proper restrictions in place in New South Wales, the situation's not improving before Christmas. It's just not improving at the moment. It's just getting gradually worse. And the caseload is getting to significant stress points in the hospitals. So it's not good. It's not good. Ian, yes, if you can't wear the mask the extended time, the rest of them shouldn't be. Yeah. So Ian, you're wearing like at least Melbourne and Brisbane do it right. Yes. Oh yeah, Safa. The whole New South Wales government is just fucking shit. The fact that they never did a proper lockdown, and that was driven by ideology, despite the fact every other state had shown what you do to lock it down. They just had this ideology that they didn't need to, and it's like, fuck off. Our lockdowns, this lockdown and the last one, are 100% the fault of the New. Well, okay, split the blame between the federal government because it's fucking Morrison's fault for fucking up the vaccine rollout and fucking up border control and quarantine. But it's directly the New South Wales government's fault for not locking down properly. Absolutely 100%. Hello, Celtic King. All right, can I have a little bit of water? Actually, I might fill this up. going to want a palate cleanser between gin tastings, so I can separate the taste of them. So if you like driving a car, yeah. Ian, problem with water is no taste. Well, that's why I'm drinking some, to cleanse my palate. Something neutral before I taste something else with flavour. So if you only have regular country Aussie rules left in the season, don't know how much is going to happen, man. I saw that you posted, Nettie, there was already a lockdown protest in Flinders tonight. Yeah, those people are fucking scum of the earth. Absolutely scum of the earth. Luke, very noble. Save the alcohol for the Friday night live stream. I need something to fucking take the edge off this fucking lockdown. And I was going to do a tasting of these gins anyway. I just got to get my little tasting glasses. Got my same little tasting glasses that I used for my white cane spirit tasting. Now, see, I've got these three. I call it the what do they call it? Native Trilogy? Now I want to look it up. Applewood Distillery. They call it Native Trinity. Native Trinity. And used to be $270. And it's down to $199. So it's almost like buy two, get one free. Yes, and the yo-yoing is pretty fucked. So the three native Australian flavoured gins: lemon aspen, bush apple, and Kakadu plum. So for how's the Olympic Games almost over? It only goes a couple of weeks. Abigail, we are in lockdown again. Yes. You've been avoiding the news. Smart. So I think, see, lemon aspen, I think it's got the most aroma. Lemon aspen, Kakadu plum. Definitely they smell like juniper, your base element of gin. Yeah, kind of smell the same. Okay, let's see if they taste different. I'm going to taste them neat, then with a bit of ice. Then I'm going to make little martinis. Okay, lemon. Kakadu. And bush apple. Eddie, no bed building. Oh, were you planning to have people around for bed building this weekend? All right. Okay. Okay. So I think for some reason I think lemon aspen's going to be the strongest taste, so I'm going to have it last. So this is bush apple. That's not bad. Pretty light. Kakadu plum. Having trouble tasting any difference, I've got to be honest. Now, lemon aspen. Oh, that tastes a bit different. It's got almost a lemon oil taste in it. So for drinking a Crown beer. Nice. Right. Just going to taste them on ice to see what difference that makes. It's remarkable how much difference that can make to how something tastes, just putting it on ice. Ugh. Looks lordy. Ian, you go, I'll have an extra drink for you. And you do that with your partner. Oh, no idea when you see her again at the moment. Yeah. Being separated by lockdown fucking sucks, man. Ugh. I mean, I've been super spoiled being with Mrs. Angry all through the lockdown. Luke, the train enthusiast in you, Steam Loco that did V-Line Ballarat run. Oh, I didn't see that. There was a steam train doing the Ballarat one. Oh, well, glad that your train enthusiast self enjoyed that. All right, on ice. It's a nice clean taste. Brian on Facebook, hello, did an interview with a guy who created a video bibliography tool for journalists. Interesting. Oh, damn, Ian, was that the big plan, taking 2 weeks off to spend time together, and then that was foiled by lockdown? Well, that sucks. It's a nice, clean tasting gin with ice in it. Little palate cleanser. I think I'm starting to feel it. All right, it's Kakadu plum. Brian, have lockdowns ever ended early? I think one of them did, although I'm not sure. Abigail, you had mild flu symptoms from your second dose. I'd be interested to see my second dose because my first one, I had the very mild symptoms lasted the first night, but I still laugh when I think of it because I got the chills and felt really weak and I was just being really pathetic and just so weak. I need, please. So you're saying, please put a blanket on me. I'm too weak. It was such a funny feeling of just going like, oh my God, I just feel so weak. This is fucked. And it was, I mean, the next day I was tired because I didn't sleep that well. But then the following night I slept well and it was done. I didn't even really have pain at the injection site. Some people have said it's like getting branded by a tennis ball, like when you're a kid. Did anyone ever play that game, Brandies? We used to call it Brandies because you're leaving a mark on people. The idea is to throw the tennis ball at someone so hard it leaves a mark. If it hits them, then they're it. Abigail, you have Pfizer. Yeah, you're having that before. For most people, the second dose of Pfizer's meant to provoke more of a reaction than the first. And AstraZeneca, which I'll be getting, is the opposite. Ian, in Brisbane, no cases in the Gold Coast now your way. Well, that's good. Am I a fan of selected areas lockdown? Selected area lockdowns are really difficult to enforce, basically. Yes, Safa, Pfizer also make Viagra. There you go. Ian, you love playing brandies. Okay. Oh, dear. Oh, yes. Raiders, British Bulldog, which was basically an all-in brawl. For those who don't know British Bulldog, there'd be some people who were in the middle, and then everyone would be at one end, a bit of the yard, and then everyone said you got to run past the people who are in the middle, and the people in the middle try and grab you as you go past. And if they get a hold of you, then you're in the middle with them. So you get progressively more and more people in the middle. So it gets harder and harder for the people who are running end to end to get through without being caught. And it's down to like who's the last one to get caught. So much fun, so violent. So violent. It was a very violent version of tag. Ian, you know, get Pfizer. Don't need enough air. These are really clean tasting gins. They're the lemon aspen has the most individual flavor, but like some gins are really medicinal, and these aren't. You can still taste the juniper. Oh, they're pretty good. Oh shit, Ian, you got a ball in the eye playing brandy. That's fucking hardcore. Nettie loved British Bulldog. Brian, his violent version of tag. Is that what we're playing worldwide? We played such violent games when I were a lad. Stuff you wouldn't get away with now. Oh, black eye for 2 weeks, getting hit in the face with the tennis ball playing brandies. Jesus. Stuff a British Bulldog may have been before your time. I think in the last 20 years, they would have tried hard not to let kids do it at school because very violent. It's kind of like you see, there's a meme you see sometimes, this playground equipment from the early 20th century, which is these steel climbing frames, and they're really fucking high. And obviously, any kid who fell from them would break bones. We had stuff like that when I was in primary school, but much smaller. And it was eventually gotten rid of because it was so obviously dangerous. But yeah, there's a picture you see sometimes as a meme says something like, you know, playtime at school used to be survival of the fittest because this ridiculously high metal climbing frame, you would absolutely break bones if you fell from it. So yeah. Abigail, kids used to play British Bulldog on a concrete basketball court and you decided to sit it out. Oh, damn. Nice, Nettie, having a Netflix date. Have fun with that. Abigail, you had the unsafe play equipment at primary school. We had some really unsafe play equipment in primary school. And the parks I grew up with had all the unsafe play equipment, the roundabout things, the long metal slides that would get so hot in summer they would just melt the flesh off your limbs. So fucked up. Luke, at your school, you had a hot soup day till a kid got burnt and taken away by ambulance. God damn. Oh, yes, Ian, even seesaws. Some seesaws were so fucking big that there was a huge scope for fucking injury. Now, you broke 2 front teeth. Yeah, like if someone jumped off the seesaw or something. Oh, seesaws, some of them were so big, you would be, when you were up, you'd be like 2 meters off the ground. And if you're a kid, that's a long fucking way off the ground. But yeah. Safi, you remember free milk, first grade at school? Used to have free milk when I were what we called infant school in New South Wales. Don't have that in Victoria. Victoria's just primary and secondary. When I were a lad in New South Wales, infant school was kinder 1 and 2. Primary was 3 to 6. Now in Victoria, primary is just 1 to 6. Oh shit, Ian, you flew up and out of the seat. Yeah. Seesaws, for something that sounds so innocuous, the big ones could be so fucking dangerous. So easy to get horribly injured. Oh my god. Yeah. The good old days. All right, I'm gonna actually. Yeah, I might just fuck around and I'm just gonna make. Yeah, I'm gonna make. I'm just gonna make mini martinis. Just fuck around with them. All right, I want dry vermouth for my martinis. All right, dry vermouth. Want my strainer. I was going to be a bit more elegant, but I canna be fucked. Right. Ian, I'm not going to colourful grass. Bye, Kelty. Have a good night, man. You like the burp, Ian? There'll probably be more of those. All right. I'm going to make one with bush apple first. Normally, if I were making a martini, it would be 2 ounces of gin. I'm just doing one, and I'm just doing a splash of vermouth. Just a little bit of vermouth to cut it. Maybe a splash of orange bitters. Why not? So you're imagining if Celtic King might be ripped as fuck with a 6-pack. Who knows? We're on the internet. No one knows what you are. So very James Bond, like I'm just being super sophisticated, chilling that down, stirring it with my finger, because I'm a sophisticated motherfucker. All right, bush apple martini, mini martini. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. First blush, these are good martini gins. Nice and clean. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Ian, if you like burps, nobody's burps. My God. Yes. What's my thought about the virus now heading into school? So it scares me at the moment. Everything's fucked, man. The Delta strain does seem to transmit more quickly. Like people are really infectious without feeling any symptoms, and doesn't bode well for the future, quite honestly. But oh, I'm friggin' liking these as martini gins. Nice. I like a dry martini. Mrs. Angry likes what's known as a very wet, soaking wet, sopping wet, saturated martini, 50-50 martini, and she does a sweet vermouth rather than a dry vermouth, which is quite not unheard of, but quite unorthodox. And I think these would probably be very good with that too. Ian, I think we all fucking need to take up drinking. I don't. Look, drinking to cope with lockdowns is a bad idea just because I'm doing it. It's like the Hunter S. Thompson line. I hate to recommend sex and extreme violence. No, he doesn't say drugs. He doesn't say sex. He says, I hate to recommend drugs and violence as a solution, but they've always worked for me. So, oh yes, Abigail's had a sweet vermouth martini. With I think you actually had the dirty version with black olive brine in there that we called the goth martini because it was very dark. It's a very dark martini. Ian, you think it's a good idea? Well, I'm fucking doing it anyway. So for not trying to be racist, is it me or people in large families not taking COVID serious? I think that's a complex issue, Safa. I think what people are realizing, we still have like migrant families that where a lot of the messaging isn't getting through, and the idea of isolating yourself from other family members is unheard of for some people, and the cultural aspects are really quite complicated. Fuck yeah. Yep. Okay. I think these gins make good money. They have these like a recommended cocktail on the back of each bottle, and they seem overly fussy. For bush apple gin, they say use the bush apple gin, a light red wine, lavender tea, white verjuice, which is a sort of grape juice, and sugar. Stir all ingredients with ice. Strain into a chilled Nick and Nora glass. They call that an applewood blossom. For the Kakadu plum gin, they say do the gin slices of pear, ochre gold, lime juice, green tea syrup, and some drops of vanilla extract. And that's muddle the pear in a cocktail shaker, shake all ingredients, double strain. Garnish with smoked Geraldton wax. They call that an applewood pollen. Thanks for happy Underwood. Happy lockdown, Justin. Vermouth is good. Is it true back in the day claim business? Oh, back in the day, my God. For lemon aspen, they say do the lemon aspen gin, yuzu shnu, which I don't know what that is, lemon, sugar, mandarin, basil leaves, pinch of black pepper. They call that applewood orchard. Yes, no, for reals. So, okay, back in the day, Safa, before a fringe benefits tax was introduced by the Hawke-Keating government, which is one of the good things they did, CEOs had a salary that was really low, like 40,000. That was the CEO, because the company paid for literally everything for them. Not just their lunches and stuff. Their mortgage would be paid by the company. Their cars paid for by the company. Their kids' private school educations paid for by the company. So the company paid for all this shit. So the CEO was living the life of someone who was on 200,000, but for tax purposes, they were only on 40,000. So it was a massive tax dodge. And so those things all got declared fringe benefits. The Hawke-Keating government introduced a fringe benefits tax. A few things. Abigail, the lockdown is initially a week. We might get super lucky and it might get called off early because it's a precautionary thing because they're really worried there's going to be a lot of cases in the next couple of days. But if they test, like there's thousands of students from this school they're worried about. So if we get, 50,000 tests in the next couple of days and a tiny number or no new cases, by Tuesday they might be going, hey, you know what? Jesus, we stopped people moving around on the weekend and we got it under control. We're good. I tell you what, if there was no fringe benefits tax now, I would be living the life of fucking Riley. There'd be no stopping me. I tell you that for free. Safi, I don't know that we know that for sure, Safa, that Delta affects the heart more. It's too early. It is too early to be sure. Right. That was good. Mini Martini number 2 with Kakadu Plum. And I'm not quite Winston Churchill, but I'm just going to have a splash of vermouth. Make it quite a dry mini martini. For those who aren't familiar with the terminology, martini is gin and vermouth. Some people say it can be vodka, and sure, we call a vodka martini a fuckwit martini. I'm so snobby. So a martini is gin and vermouth, and if you have less vermouth, that's a drier martini. If you have more vermouth, that's a wetter martini. So it's like 2 shots of gin to a quarter shot of vermouth is dry, and less vermouth is drier, more vermouth is wetter. And if you put the olive brine in it, because olive is often your garnish for a martini, that's a dirty martini. And if you're just putting like a splash of vermouth in, that's bone dry. Because a lot of vermouths are Italian. Winston Churchill, who was a mad fucking alcoholic and liked to drink a lot of gin, was reputed to have said how he wanted his martini. Just, pour gin into my glass, chilled gin into my glass, then wave it in the general direction of Italy. So some people who go for like bone dry martinis, they are virtually, they're just saying, give me a glass of really cold gin that has a vague splash of a few drops of vermouth in it. I'd like to have a bit more than that, but yeah. All right, these are fucking excellent martini gins. I'll give them that. God damn, they are very good martini gins. Very clean taste. So, Raiders, you had a heap of questions asked about you. You had questions asked about. You had questions asked about your heart health prior to Pfizer. That is interesting. That's very interesting. And yes, Ian, big point. We don't know the long-term effects of COVID. Long COVID, which affects somewhere between 20 and 40% of people who contract COVID. If you're lucky, the worst things are chronic fatigue, but there are a shit ton of complications that go with COVID. Like, you don't have to end up in hospital on ventilation to essentially end up with illness so severe it's a disability. Like, you can't work because you've got all the symptoms of chronic fatigue syndrome. And we still don't know. It's somewhere between 20 and 40% of people who get COVID have medium to long-term to possibly permanent health complications. It's fucked, man. You don't want it. You don't fucking want it. Were you saying, Justin, expats get free stuff through the company they work for? That's fair. Your dad was loaded with freebies when you're overseas. Nice. So, Abigail, feeling a bit down the past few days. Had an autistic shut-in episode. Going to see your lady friend this weekend? Well, that's nice. Oh, yeah. No, Abigail, you would know. Chronic fatigue and chronic pain, very debilitating. And Stella, hello. Oh, that's an interesting one, Raiders. Take a photo of the vaccine batch number for your records. Okay, yeah. Well, I'm going to be very interested in this one because I think this one had the most distinct flavor. But off the cuff, I am saying these Applewood gins are very good martini gins. Oh, yeah. No, that's my sort of martini. I might just fucking drink martinis all night after having these mini martinis. I've got my freezer martini. A lot of martini action happening, actually. Maybe I'll do something else. I don't know. But I just kind of had the shits with another lockdown. And I know it's the right thing to do. I'm not criticizing the act of having a lockdown. It's just, there the compounding of the federal government absolutely fucking up the vaccine rollout, absolutely fucking out border control and quarantine, the New South Wales government absolutely fucking up the handling of this latest outbreak, refusing to do a proper lockdown because of their fucking ideology, and they've fucked everyone else because of it. And they don't have the luxury of ignorance as an excuse. Like the really nasty outbreak in Melbourne last year. At least, we had the ignorance plea. We didn't know how bad it would get. But once it became clear how bad it was, the Andrews government made the hard decisions and locked us the fuck down. And it worked. And it's fucking offensive, the New South Wales government going, we don't have to do it. Fuck you. So if you're going to message you my address, pay ID money, you want me to send you cocktails your way? You know what, man? I would do it. I would fucking do it. I've got some little bottles. I would fucking do it. Oh, yeah. No, that's the thing. And that's what we've seen repeatedly, Ian, over the last 18 months. One person can cause major problems. One person can fuck it up for everyone. Oh, yeah, Justin, that's an interesting question. Because we still don't know the implications of long COVID. And yes, by early next year, we will be going, okay, enough people are vaccinated. We won't go for harsh lockdowns. We'll just try and manage outbreaks as they happen. And it's like Russian roulette. Long COVID is the extra bullet in the chamber for Russian roulette. Oh my God. Yeah, okay. I'm going to send some feedback to Applewood. These gins are very good martini gins. I know, Safa, long COVID fucks everyone up. Long COVID fucks up very healthy people. And that's why I hate the protesters and the deniers and the people who don't want to have a vaccine and shit, because they are completely ignoring how serious COVID can be without killing you. Ah, shit, Ian, stuck at home, no friends nearby, lockdown. Dude, well, hang out with us, brother. Look, that is shit, man. It's fucking shit. There's no two ways about it. I feel really spoiled. This is angry with me and our offspring with me at least half the time. And we have a nice domestic situation. There's no tension in the domestic situation. Are really spoiled, but I don't for a second belittle how stressful it is if you're alone or if you have a stressful or dangerous domestic situation. Fucking feel for you, man. Absolutely fucking feel for you. Oh shit, your partner's on the Gold Coast, 34 kilometers away. Shit. Sucks, man. Absolutely sucks. Still, are you hoping this one fly in, fly out person Perth hasn't been infectious? Yeah, that's a risk with the mining things. So, Readers, you saw the effects of long COVID. Oh, Lewis Hamilton, you were saying. Yes. And yes, Lewis Hamilton's an elite athlete. He might be a race car driver, but he's an elite athlete. But COVID itself, but definitely long COVID, can strike down very healthy people. Okay. Lemon aspen martini. Yeah, that might be my favorite of the three. It's got a bit more flavor than the others, but goddamn, they're good martini gins. And yes, Abigail. Oh, that's the big one. When COVID's killed otherwise healthy doctors and other medical staff, because how it appears, medical staff dealing with COVID patients, they get exposed, they get a very heavy virus load. Like a casual contact that gives you COVID, the virus load is comparatively small and can still kill you. But medical staff who are dealing with all the COVID patients, they get infected. It's often with a very heavy virus load, and it fucks them up or kills them. It's bad. It is fucking bad. Yeah, that dude in his 20s, Ian, he'd been in isolation by himself. Day 13, he just fucking died. And the checkups up to that point had been he seems okay, and then he's by himself at home, rapid deterioration, and he just fucking died. Um, that's full on. He had no health complications, no other conditions, and people thought he was doing okay. He just fucking died. Man, it's I fucking hate the people who belittle COVID. I thought his wife was in hospital, Ian, but again, I don't know the details rock solid. But yeah, I fucking hate the people who belittle COVID. Fucking scumbags. Oh. So COVID from China is like Chernobyl from USSR. From certain perspectives, yeah. But again, the Soviets they forced people to do the sacrifices that stopped the Chernobyl incident from spreading, whereas the Chinese authorities did not do enough early enough to stop COVID from spreading. They were in denial and trying to downplay how serious it was for the first couple of months. By the time they did take steps, it was too late. Ian, didn't they find COVID in the mines 7 years ago in China? The thing is, okay, so the virus that causes the illness COVID is a new illness. The virus, the novel coronavirus that causes it, there has been versions of these coronaviruses forever. You know, the different flu viruses, you get rhinoviruses, coronaviruses, and I think there's some other ones. So, but that's why they called it novel coronavirus, because it was a new strain of a coronavirus. So you will find mines, you will find related viruses going way back. Ian, I have not heard that the same virus that caused the spread is found that old. And that's what I'm not saying it wasn't found. I'm saying I'm not aware of that. Justin, the Chinese will shoot the manager. Sorry, the Chinese will shoot the messenger. Literally, in many cases. Yeah, there was a lot of evidence that the Chinese authorities punished people who tried to share with the world how serious this virus was in the early days. Stella, I don't know about the strict definitions. I thought coronavirus was a flu virus. Flu is, yeah, the abbreviation of influenza, but you get swine flu and avian flu. And I'm not an expert, so I'm not sure. But I thought the coronavirus was an influenza virus. Again, I'm absolutely not an expert. I could be completely wrong. It's a SARS virus. Okay, thank you. Of course it is. Yes. COVID is a SARS. So SARS, a severe acute respiratory syndrome, is not influenza. It's just, has some surface similarities to severe influenza. I remember years ago, like more than a decade ago, I started a job, and someone on the job, she was just trying to come back She'd had pneumonia, like she'd had real serious influenza that compounded into pneumonia, and she'd just like been knocked out. And because she was a contractor, she wasn't getting paid if she stayed at home. So she was trying to come back, and she's been off 4 weeks, and she's going, "I'm okay," and she'd survive at work for a day or so. Like she wasn't contagious at this point. Her body had just been ravaged by this virus, and she was very weak. And she'd survive for a day or two a week at work, and then she'd be gone for a day or two or three, and then she'd recover and go, "I'm fine, I'm back," and she'd last for a day or two, and then it's too much, and she'd be bedridden for a day, and that went on for like 2 months. Like these severe respiratory illnesses will fuck you up, whether it's the normal influenza virus turns into pneumonia, or it's a SARS or a coronavirus or rhino. They will fuck you up, whatever they are. So yeah, but just basically these respiratory illnesses will fuck you up. It's just like, man. So if you think Stella should do a uni course, because Stella is very smart and working. Actually, I don't know that we've ever talked about that, Stella, with your work. Do you have any degrees? Because I wouldn't be surprised if you do, because of the nature of your work. But right, so all right, I'm now, as we approach 9 o'clock, I'm a little bit drunk. Does this? I'm looking at this page. Has all these best cocktails, best blue curry. Does this have best gin cocktails? I think it would. Maraschino, pineapple, Montenegro, tequila, vodka, pisco, cognac, sake, Irish whiskey, honey, falernum, gin. There we go. Gin. 20 best gin cocktails. Now I'm thinking, because I might make, okay, or even though I'm a little bit drunk, I might make another cocktail. 20th century, an aviation, a banana calling, gin, banana, Fino sherry. Oof. I might make that. A Clover Club, martini, a gimlet. Gin and tonic. Gin basil smash, fruit cup, last word. Ooh, a last word. That's a modern classic. Marsala, fucking Negroni, an old friend. Ooh, what a great name for a cocktail. Psychopathia sexualis is gin, sherry, vermouth, dry vermouth, sweet vermouth, and orange bitters. So that's a martini variation with a great name, Psychopathia sexualis. Singapore Sling, a slow grony. Oof. Which was the one? A last word, or a gimlet, or a banana calling. Temptations. On Twitch, Shakhtar. You thought Australia was chilled out country if China's condemning the Aussies' draconian measures. Well, okay. Point the first, Shakhtar. The Chinese regime is driven by propaganda and whatnot, and they do some shit. Point the second. It is absolutely legitimate to savagely critique Australia's treatment of Indigenous people and of asylum seekers. So, again, I don't want to give the Chinese regime a lot of ground because they're totalitarian murderers, but anyone should feel free to critique Australia's absolutely abominable treatment of Indigenous people over the last 200 years and asylum seekers over the last 20 years. Jacko, you saw what Sydney was like at the weekend. Something out of a sci-fi movie. I'm not sure what you mean. What you mean by being locked down with empty streets? Oh, now we're all getting into the arcane points of the different viruses, coronaviruses, influenza viruses, etc. We need an immunologist to tell us these things. Justin, did I see a new vaccine poster with a koala? I don't think I did. Zafra, I'm actually with you. Point the first when we're talking about anything that the Chinese regime says. Fuck the Chinese Communist Party. Quite honestly, fuck them for their brutality and totalitarian bullshit. Yes, Ian, we need more drink. I think I am absolutely feeling that, but I'm gonna make. Man, this banana one. I think I've got some Fino Sherry in the fridge. Right, let me see. What's in the fridge? I think I need to finish the sherry. Yep, and I need to finish this. All right. Christ, why is that still in the fridge? There's just a tiny amount of this sherry in there, taking up fridge space. All right, we're going to put this in a Nick and Nora. And all right, let's stop fucking around. This would be a shaken cocktail? All right, so I got my Nick and Nora. The Nick and Nora, possibly the sexiest of the cocktail glass, particularly mine, because it's got all these etchings on the glass. It's a very sexy glass, and I like it. And I don't want to point any fingers about who broke one of my Nick and Nora glasses on New Year's Eve, but actually, I don't think it was Abigail. I think it was Nettie. I was going to say, I think they're in the chat. For those who missed it, Abigail and Nettie actually were over here for New Year's Eve. Broke one of my Nick and Nora glasses. I think it was actually Nettie. Shakhtar, you learn not to drink gin. It's the road to bad times. Look, any alcohol can be the road to bad times. Moderation is key. No, I'm right on the edge of not being in moderation, quite honestly. I'm going to do the lemon aspen because I think I've decided that's my favorite. So I'm chilling the Nick and Nora glass. I need a cocktail shaker. Abigail, you remember most of that. Actually, that's, Megaleesh, whoever did it, their name starts with an A. That's a powerful observation. All right, it's a shaken cocktail. So I get my cocktail shaker. And I'll put some ice in it. Ice, baby. All right, that's probably enough. Some people get obsessive about putting huge amounts of ice in the shaker or the stirring glass. Right, so, and where's my banana liqueur? Right here. Banana liqueur, bananas. All right. So, Shakhtar, I know we get into the mental state where we think one spirit affects us more than the other. In real terms, that's not true. It's just that some nights we forget what we're doing and drink too much, and then we blame it on the particular spirit. But it's just on us. But anyway, okay, banana calling. 1 2/3 shots of gin. Okay, I am going to do the lemon aspen. One and a half. There we go. Gin. Mother's ruin, because There was a period in 19th century England where gin was a higher proof alcohol, and people were drinking probably a bit too much of it. 5/12, Jesus Christ. This Difford guy is such a fucking wanker. 5/12 of a shot of banana liqueur. How about we just do fucking 6/12 of a shot, aka half a shot? A third of a shot. I'm literally just going to use the rest of the sherry in this bottle and then put the bottle in recycling. Maybe keep the stopper. You never know when stoppers are going to be... Little cork stopper. You never know when stoppers are going to be useful. How much is in here? Half a shot? There's actually... Oh, geez, that's actually 1.5 shots. A whole shot. Whatever. There's a lot of sherry in it. I'm just getting rid of this sherry. This bottle down here. So this drink's going to be unbalanced, mate. Oh, and I'm just going to finish this as well. Supposed to use a boot, some lemon juice and sugar syrup. How much of this is there? 1 shot? You know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to have a sweet drink. I don't fucking care. It's particular lemon lime sugar syrup I made, which is really nice. All right. So now a bit of cocktail ASMR with shaking noises. Hey, Noog. Hello. How you doing, man? Justin, I've still not watched Man in the High Castle, but I might watch it one time. Safi, you reckon Rudd has an unhealthy relationship with Murdoch? You think it's getting a bit obsessive, how much he hates Murdoch? The Murdoch Empire is absolutely intrinsically evil. Rudd might be getting obsessed. Who knows? Ooh, nice. Nice. Put that aside. So, you looked up COVID-19 and flu have several differences. COVID-19 flu are caused by different viruses. Yes, I knew that. COVID-19 is caused by a new coronavirus, SARS-CoV-2. Influenza is caused by influenza A. There you go. Okay. So they're different viruses. They manifest in similar ways, but they're different viruses. Oh, no, you're on a break. Nice. Thanks for dropping in, Brew. Okay, that's pretty fucking good. It's not to the proportions that were called for. I put way more sherry in, but, fucking here you go. Yes. No, I reckon that's... For a good dictionary, if you searched evil, there'd be a picture of Murdoch. Safa, I think bird flu, aka avian flu, is an influenza virus. Coronavirus is not an influenza virus, just manifests in similar ways. Just think Rudd gives a fuck about the country. Rudd cares more about himself than anyone else. It was his narcissism that destroyed his prime ministership. But I can't fault his pointing out the Murdoch Empire is pure evil. Can I get you anything, or are you just going to get it yourself?
I'm just going to get it myself.
That's all good. Oh, your rice wine.
Yes, the ice in the floor.
Yeah, that's probably my fault.
My socks are wet.
That's what you get for not wearing shoes in the kitchen. Your socks get wet.
Well, why wouldn't you just... First of all, I'm Asian, so I'm not meant to be wearing shoes.
Oh my god. So if you got freaked about Ebola 2014 in Africa, you should be. And you talk to the people who are experts. Ebola or something similar could have an incredibly widespread and devastating outbreak. So far, the outbreaks have been relatively localized and contained, but Ebola or something like it could absolutely have an uncontrolled global spread. So it's kind of. Oh, Justin, we've had this conversation before. My ex was born in the Philippines, so my offspring are half. But he's just using that as an excuse for not wearing shoes in the house. Because definitely, if we visit his grandparents' place, you take your shoes off at the door, type of thing. But I don't know if he realized his voice was carrying to the stream, but yeah. Oh yeah, no. There's the next pandemic. It might be another 100 years because it was 100 years between the 1918 flu and this one. The next pandemic that is as devastating could happen anywhere between 1 and 100 years from now. We could get another worse one almost straight away, or it might be another 100 years before we get one as devastating. You can't really predict these things. Yeah, Safa, he's not really a fridge ninja. He's just like, fuck it, I'm going to get stuff. That's a good call, Stella. I tell him he's half Australian. He has to wear Uggies inside. Yeah, I wear my slippers in the morning, actually. Like, I just get up because I'm working from home. This is my work desk over there. Just like get out of bed, put on a pajama pants and a dressing gown and slippers, and fire up the computer. And I have a shower and get dressed whenever I feel like it, which is normally somewhere between 10 and 12. Some days I might just, no, the whole fucking morning, I'm just going to sit here in my pajamas and tap away at my laptop and attend meetings and whatnot. And it's like, it's fucking lunchtime. Okay. Usually on a work day, the latest I have a shower and get dressed is lunchtime. I'll just be like working through the morning and go, you know what, it's fucking lunchtime. I'm going to have a shower and get dressed and then face the afternoon. So, Justin, on the official scale, this pandemic's level 3, 1918 pandemic is level. I assume it goes up, like level 5 is more extreme than level 3. But definitely, like, since the 90s, there's been a bunch of close calls with Ebola and swine flu and avian flu and whatnot. And they've all ended up being contained up till now. And you get all these fucking morons go, oh, why are all these people saying it's going to be big and better? Because the friggin' epidemiologists know how bad this shit gets. And when they see something start to spread, they're like, fuck, this could be it. Fuck. And a whole bunch of medical people have given their lives to control the spread of potential pandemics in the last 20, 30 years. I get very, very, very angry at people who say, oh, they were getting worked up about nothing. The only reason we haven't had 5 pandemics in the last 30 years is because of the medical people who literally put their lives on the line to control the spread. So I have no time at all for the deniers, basically. They're shitheads. They're absolute shitheads. So, that's pretty good. I like that cocktail. Justin, you reckon if COVID happened in 1918, it would be level 5? Maybe. It's very hard to be sure because one big difference between 1918 and 2018 is the rate of international travel. In 1918, not many people traveled internationally because international travel was slow and expensive. 2018, international travel was fast and comparatively cheap. So it's very hard to compare the 1918 flu to the COVID pandemic because the world has changed so much. But what we see is that COVID has a much lower death rate than the 1918 flu. If we had a pandemic with the death rate of the 1918 flu in the world today, it would be cataclysmic. There would be tens of millions of people dead, if not 100 million people dead globally. It would just be fucking nightmarish. So if you're talking about, you're talking about Bill Gates talking about pandemics. Bill Gates is not completely trustworthy because in his own area, Bill Gates is very smart. Bill Gates appears to have fallen into that trap that he thinks he's smart in all areas, and he isn't. Or he's not as smart in all areas as he is in his core area. And some of the pronouncements he's been making about COVID and vaccines are absolute bullshit. Some of the pronouncements he's made in the last 10, 20 years about global health initiatives have been absolute bullshit. There's that classic thing of a smart, successful person falling into the trap of assuming they're smart in everything rather than just their very narrow field. Justin, is Bill Gates? I think Bill Gates is definitely on the spectrum. And look, that's one of the things. Gates stopping COVID vaccines from being open sourced is a very big failing of his. His obsessive capitalistic fervor is dangerous, very dangerous. And his defense when people say, why did you stop the COVID vaccines from being open sourced? His defense is fucking horseshit. He just starts waffling about only some companies can do it. Like, no, get fucked. Bill Gates's obsessive worship of unfettered capitalism is dangerous. And yes, no, we haven't mentioned Behind the Bastards yet in this stream. And we mentioned it in almost every stream, but the recent Behind the Bastards episodes on Bill Gates cover some very interesting ground. So, but yeah, no, Gates falls into that classic fault of people who are smart in one area thinking they're smart in every area, and they're just not. So, and again, Gates is one of the most privileged people of the last century. And I don't say that lightly. I mean, he's been so lucky and so privileged his entire life. He has had a level of privilege that almost no one else on the planet has had. So, you know, the whole thing about him being a genius, self-starter, self-made man is absolute fucking bullshit. And yeah. So you're listening to Behind the Bastards earlier? Yep, I was. They've got they've got one of the interesting, depressing ones this week, I think. But big fan. Oh, Safa, Jobs was definitely on the spectrum. Also, just this is not picking on you, man, because we all remember. Okay, autistic used to be an insult. In fact, some people still use it as an insult, which is ridiculous because autistic is just a medical diagnosis. But because autistic was until recently associated with people who were profoundly affected by autism, in that, like, they were non-verbal and needed constant care and whatnot. But we now know there's a spectrum of autism. And sort of, I don't know, 5-10 years ago, saying someone had Asperger's syndrome was regarded as less derogatory than had less baggage than talking about someone being on the autism spectrum. But the person that's named after, Asperger, was actually a fucking Nazi. So the whole Aspie thing, whereas 5-10 years ago, that was the politically correct thing to say, to refer to someone being Aspie. Now people have looked into it and said, oh no, Asperger was a piece of shit. So a preferred term now is to say someone's autistic or on the spectrum of being autistic, because Asperger was a fucking Nazi. So yeah, but Safa, Job's definitely on the spectrum. Abigail, you've hated Bill Gates for so long now. Yeah, like anyone who was into technology in the 90s and noughties rightly hates Bill Gates because he fucked so many people over. Stella, you listened to the latest episode of Q Clearance detailing the effect of QAnon on families. Started by reading a post from a school shooting survivor. Oh my God, yes, shit, I saw that. Someone who survived one of the school shootings has to deal with his dad saying it never happened. It was staged, and that's horrific. I cannot imagine the psychological pain of having survived a school shooting and they have your fucking father say it never happened, it was a hoax. Just the emotional and psychological damage from that is just, these conspiracy theorists, they're so fucked. God, that's such a downer. That is such a downer. Oh my God. Yeah, Safa, it's hard to shake the feeling that if you lived in the US, you'd never leave the house. Justin, I can't believe people believe that shit either, but they do. I read an interesting article this week on Mother Jones, which is a left-wing US magazine / website. And they were going, what's causing the problems now? And their thesis was, it's all Fox News's fault. And there's some validity to that, because they kind of looked at, like, the last 20, 30, 40 years, everything's got worse. We need to see something that's consistent over that period. And what they were saying, like, it's not internet, it's not social media, it's Fox News. And it's like, okay, Fox News is definitely a cancer and should definitely be eradicated because it's destroying the world. But when I read this article, I thought, okay, you're understating the impact of some other things. I feel like you're overstating the impact of Fox, and you're not even addressing some other things like the electoral lobbying of the extreme right over the last 40 years. That wasn't even addressed in this article. I mean, it's a good point to say Fox News is a fucking cancer, but it's like this person had decided it's all Fox News's fault, and then they only included stuff that supported their thesis. It's like, okay, yeah, Fox News is definitely a cancer and maybe a major, if not the major, influence in how badly things have deteriorated in the last 20, 30 years. But I feel like the article underplayed the importance of other elements and then simply didn't address some elements. But yeah, they just wanted to write a thing saying it's all Fox News' fault. Let's see. Lee, hello. Oh God, no, Stella, that thing was awful. I didn't hear the podcast, but it probably would have affected me like that. Saying he cried listening. Kids describing his dad abusing him, deliberately trying to trigger the kid's survivor guilt. No, that's nightmarish. And yes, Abigail, there is an extreme right-wing media group taking over local TV stations in the US. The US, again, in Australia, I don't think people necessarily understand they still have local TV in the US because we don't. We absolutely don't. But they do in the US. Megaleech, what are you asking for a link to? Because I'm sure someone could provide things. Okay, 9:26. Oofed. I am feeling better about the lockdown because of the number of drinks I have had. Fox's fault article. Okay. Let me look it up. Mother Jones. Okay. I'm going to look up the Mother Jones site. Smart filter. Purdue Pharma. FBI into Myanmar. Andrew Cuomo. Planting trees to fight climate change is great. But then again, so is eating. Meat packing, evictions. You will die on your knees. Cops in the uprising, right? Fauci. Okay. Home. I'm going to search because I saw it on Twitter. It's time to crush Fox News. Sort by newest. Here we are, the real source of America's rising rage. So, if you're into such things, you might find this article interesting. So, this is an article, I just put a link in the chat. This is an article that essentially blames everything on Fox News. No, you've been listening to depressing podcast episodes. Two-parter on the Namibian genocide, done by lions led by donkeys. That does sound depressing. So, Ian, you're not a fan of the media. They keep over-dramatizing things. Yes. Stella, you remember local Ballarat news used to be read by Dennis Walter. Oh, wow, who sung Carols by Candlelight? I remember Dennis Walter. He recorded a cover of a Nick Cave song. It was a bit of a hit. It was the Ship song. Dennis Walter recorded a version of that was a bit of a hit. Come sail your ship around me and burn your bridges too. Abigail asking the big questions. Why do some humans have to be so awful? I don't know, but some humans are definitely awful. Ian, who remembers Kamal? I remember Kamal. Kamal was a fucking legend. He was Sri Lankan, if I remember, and he became a bit of a star in Australia in the 70s. Kamal's a fucking legend. And he used to go on, and there was a recent interview with him where he talked about how he used to go on Hey Hey It's Saturday sometimes, and he was absolutely mortified at the racism that would just come on while he was on it. Oh, you drove Kamal for 2 days. Fucking legend. I love Kamal. Lee, you were saying in WW2 the Japanese killed more people than Nazis did. Okay, I am going to say I don't think that's true. because I think you're discounting the Nazi death camps if you say that. And I'm just going to go on. Did the Japanese kill more than Germans in WW2? Did the Japanese kill more than Germans? Statistics of Japanese genocide and mass murder. Noise. From the invasion of China till the end of World War II, the Japanese murdered near 3 million people, possibly over 10 million. Okay, that's so imprecise that's of no value. Whereas the Germans were probably responsible for at least 10 million deaths. Okay. From that, it's completely irrelevant. Hi, Laura. So, Ian, Kamal came up to you at the airport, said, "Hi, I'm Kamal." You can't. It's not like, yeah, absolutely. That beautiful, smooth chocolate voice of Kamal. Justin, you think Stalin killed the most in the 20th century? Yeah, see, it depends. This is where it gets into difficult territory. Stalin and Mao's communist revolution both killed an horrific number of people through starvation and famine. But then it's like, well, is that like having these corollary casualties in the millions from famine? Is that the same as literally rounding people up and putting them in death camps and executing them, to which the Nazis did somewhere between 6 and 10 million people? Hey, Fisher Payne, hello. And Jason takes Omega. Hello, I haven't seen you for ages, man. You learn Seiko's taking over. Serco is butchering the UK's NHS. Serco is an evil fucking company, actually. It's basically the various totalitarian regimes of the 20th century killed so many people. It's impossible to kind of pin down who's the most. Like, say, the Nazis killed 10 million or more people. The USSR killed an horrific number of people. The Chinese Communist Party killed an horrific number of people. But again, in terms of literally just rounding people up and killing them, I don't think anyone compares to the Nazis. The Soviets and the Chinese Communists, more of their death toll was around famine caused by their fucked policies. But then again, you get like Britain. And in fact, Winston Churchill specifically killing millions of people with famine in India. So, it depends where you want to look, who killed who, basically. Lee, everyone should have a pure hatred of Nazis. I don't think any of my ancestors got killed by the Nazis, but I fucking hate them. Same as the totalitarians in the USSR and communist China. And even pre-communist China, the fucking dynasties before that were just killing millions of people. The British, everyone, all the European colonizers killed millions upon millions of people in the absolute horrific ways. And yes, Laura, I also have seen fundamentalist Christians saying atheism is the reason Stalin, Mao, and Pol Pot killed people. No, they didn't kill people in the name of atheism. They killed people just because they were totalitarians. That's the thing totalitarians do. You know what? I literally need to take a toilet break. So you can all stare at a blank screen for, I'm going to be really quick and do this. Oh. All right, I'm back, but I'm just going to be a second. The stove's doing this buzzing thing that you can't hear, but I can. The noise here, so go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right. I just have to push a button to make this. It doesn't make sense to explain it, but I'm back. Oh, Jesus, Toby. You had to go there, brother. Celtic King wants to watch me urinate. Probably. Laura has a question for the viewers. Does the sheer amount of alcohol in my blood help the flow of red blood cells? It's lubrication. I think it's lubrication. So if you're saying Australia got silver in hockey, was that the men or the women? Right. Fucking tempted to make another fucking martini with that gin because it's good martini gin. Put the banana back. Oh, so I'm now torn. It's just like to fucking deal with how much another fucking lockdown sucks. I was gonna have another drink. Yeah, Toby, you had to go there, brother. That's okay. Tempted to do just a full-on martini. Oof. Abigail making microwave Marcos. Does that mean nachos or is that something? Nachos. Nice. Oh, God. Do you know what I invented that young Mr. Angry has agreed is good? There's a place up the road from us that does these loaded fries and they do like 10 different versions good. And they name them after various nationalities. And for some reason, they call one Peruvian. And it's chips, like with cheese. So like these are mutations of snake. So it's chips with cheese and popcorn chicken and then a couple of sauces. And it's really good. So I made one. I get like just like breaded chicken from the supermarket. There's popcorn chicken. And I cook some chips and cook the chicken, whether it's popcorn chicken or if I slice up other chicken, and then it's like chips, put some cheese on it, then put the chicken, then some cheese, and then some sauces, and then bake that in the oven. And young Mr. Angry has decided that's good. So we'll probably do that. Laura, you have a 6-pack. You just don't have the plastic thing that keeps it together. Nice. Lee, I was half tempted to do an Angry Bunch tonight. I was half tempted to go late tonight, but I think I might just go to 10, but I might just get really fucking drunk in the meantime because I really have the shits about lockdown, quite honestly. Not when I say I have the shits, not like I think it's the wrong thing to do. I think it's the right thing to do, but just the fucking world gives me the shits at the moment. Jason, capitalism kills millions all the time. Absolutely it does. The death toll of capitalism is so fucking high. You're talking about 6-packs and 10-packs. I've just got a keg. I've just got this big barrel. Toby, how's AZ doing? He has fucked his back, man. He has fucked his back. He was on the stream on, I think, last Friday night, where he did pretty well, but he's doing the whole falling and hurting himself, and he has seriously fucked his back. I'll try and get a hold of him tomorrow and see what's going on, but he has seriously fucked his back. Like, he's very badly injured and in a lot of pain at the moment, I think. Safa, when will capitalism goes down? Who fucking knows? Current version of capitalism is unsustainable. Absolutely. Yeah. Safa, you're inspired by ladies with 6-packs. Oh, I know some lady bodybuilders, and it's a whole thing. Yeah, Safa, AZ's not getting well. AZ's health conditions are chronic. So it's more of just a question of how manageable his health condition is. He's never going to get better. He's never going to be over it. these are chronic and incurable health things he has. It's just a varying degree of how well he's able to manage it. So, but he's pretty good at managing it, and he likes to put on a front for everyone. So, Toby, what do I think of cryptocurrency? It's a fucking scam, and it's this close to going. All the cryptocurrencies are this close to going tits up. It's just weird, meaningless cryptocurrency is weird, meaningless speculation. I mean, I have, spare cash in the bank, and I've been tempted to throw some of it at cryptocurrency, but the fact that this shit could go completely tits up at any moment, because basically it just requires governments to go, we refuse to allow this to keep happening, which China has done, and it seems like America's right on the cusp of doing. And you look at the volatility over the last 12 months, the cryptocurrency prices have just gone voot, voot, voot. They've doubled, they've halved, they've doubled, they've halved, they've doubled, they've halved. It's just ridiculous. So spare cash is what they look. And I fully, man, the last 18 months have been so good to me. And I'm so conscious of how tough so many people have done it over the stretch of the pandemic. But I've just been super fucking lucky with employment and whatnot. Jason takes a makeover. That is such a great fucking comment. 6 years of scaring people in that hell site. Next phase, having victims chat up 18 plus strangers before they hear Kiki, Mama, and then we do a choreographed kill. Oh, wow. Laura, you had a crypto miner for a couple of months. Use it for a week and a half. Fucking noise generator. Yes, you don't have to do the crypto mining yourself. You can buy a certain amount of cryptocurrency and then see what the fluctuating market does. There's two different things. You can do the mining for cryptocurrency, or you can just buy cryptocurrency. I have no interest in doing the mining. Every now and then I've considered buying, but you just see how volatile it's been for the last 12 months. It's been it's a fucking scam. And I am sympathetic when people who are into cryptocurrencies say fiat currencies, as in the currencies used in each country. They're bullshit too, and they're fictional and wishful thinking. And they are. Currency, international trade is a consensual hallucination. But cryptocurrency is just this side of an absolute scam. Robot Man Greg, hello, sir. How are you doing? All right, so 9:45. Honestly, I'm seriously considering having another drink because I'm fucking shagged off with how things are. What was another gin drink on this side? I made the banana calling. Kind of tempted to do a proper martini or a last word. An old friend. What's this one? The Psychopathia Sexualis. Gin, dry. Actually, even forgetting the sherry. Just making a martini that's mixed dry and sweet vermouth. Oofed. What's that? It's so funny that became a thing. So like, oof was a cartoon sound. Wow, that is a really mild drink. Only half a shot of gin, half a shot of sherry, half a shot of vermouth. See, if I was making that, it'd be 2 shots of gin, half a shot of dry vermouth, half a shot of sweet vermouth. That's how I'd make it. Okay, Laura, first, vodka generally is bullshit. Vodka martinis doubly so. Shaken or stirred, you stir martinis. You don't shake them, you stir them. You shake martinis where you need stuff to be fully integrated. Basically, if there's a juice in it, there's a citrus. If it's just booze, you stir it. Stirring it chills it, dilutes it a little. If you shake a martini, it aerates it. I don't know, it's visually unappealing. But you stir, you don't shake, you stir. But fuck it. If you want to shake it, do it. I don't really want to make a big scene about it. But yeah, you shake cocktails that have particularly a citrus in them. Do you want to see, Lee, I'm not into espresso martinis because I don't like coffee. I don't like coffee as a flavor. I just don't like coffee as a flavor. If I'm making something called coffee. Yes, Laura, I get you referring to James. In fact, the James Bond, the Vesper Martini, 3 parts gin, 1 part vodka, half a part Quina Lillet, shaken, not stirred. Forget the shaken, not stirred. You stir it. But I've made Vesper Martinis, and what you get a Vesper Martini can be a good bridge for someone who thinks they don't like gin, but they like vodka, because having a bit of vodka in the martini takes the edge off the gin a little bit. So a Vesper can be a good way to ease someone into having a proper gin martini. Yeah, Lee. The joke about the espresso martini was that a famous model reputed to be the British one, Kate something. Oh Christ! I've had a couple of drinks. But the rumor is she went into a bar early in the day and said to the very well-known bartender, "I just want something that wakes me up and fucks me up." And so he mixed a martini with coffee, and the espresso martini was born. So that's the idea behind the espresso martini. No, it's not. It wasn't Kate Upton. She had the gap in her tooth. Who was the British supermodel from the 90s who had the gap in her front teeth? Kate Moss. Thank you, Raiders. Thank you. It was Kate Moss. It's rumored to be Kate Moss that the espresso martini was invented for. Jason, you do the gin vodka martinis. That's okay. I'm very much into dry gin martinis, and I might Actually, no. I'm going to mix it up with sweet vermouth. I am. Yeah, no. I'm going to stay here for a while. I'm going to make another martini. I'm going to use this, and I'm going to stir it. Actually, I might use this and stir it. Drink a bit of water because this ice is melting. Oh. Yes, Safa. That's why I tried to explain the dry thing, because it sounds weird. Go, what do you mean dry? Doesn't it all look good? Dry means less vermouth. Wet means more vermouth. Right, I'm going to put a bit more. I'm going to use this as my mixing glass. I'm not going to bother getting my cocktail mixing glass out. I'm going to put a bit more ice in it. Okay, it's a nice amount of ice. I get my sweet vermouth. Okay, that was an empty bottle that I just knocked over. Where's my sweet vermouth? It's here. Right. All right, we're gonna have another martini, and I'm gonna have it my Nick and Nora because I can't be bothered. So if you like more vermouth, go with like Mrs. Angry's preferred martini is half gin, half sweet vermouth. That's a really nice drink. That is a really nice drink. Kakadu plum, bush apple. I'm going to do bush apple. Or maybe, actually, I'll make it half-half bush apple and Kakadu plum. Gin. I love fucking cognac and vermouth. I love whiskey and vermouth. I love gin and vermouth. I just fucking love boozy cocktails. Okay, mixing up the gins. Jason, you can't remember what vermouth you prefer? Remember one having KFC and martinis to get. You had enough KFC and martinis to get dragged to the ER and sleep it off. Jesus Christ. Okay, for those who don't know, I haven't mentioned Jason. You haven't been in the stream for ages, I don't think. Jason's someone I've actually hung out with in person, and there are over the years a couple of photos on my social media of posing with him in his full-on Jason from Friday the 13th cosplay. Top bloke. Abigail, I'm with you. I like big butts and I cannot lie. You other brothers can't deny. A little bit of dry vermouth as well. I'm going to do a dash of orange fucking bitters. Why not? Stella, did I get my Star Wars Unexpected? I also ordered mine today. I got the email today. It'll probably arrive early next week. Star Wars whiskey finished in a peated Scotch whiskey barrel. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to make a cocktail with it on my YouTube channel. And I have to admit, the name Unexpected, which is meant to be, it's unexpected that we have a peated whiskey. I'm gonna rip on them for that. I'm gonna take the piss and say, guys, that does not really work. That I'm a lover of puns. That is not really a pun that works, quite honestly. Oh yeah, no, sorry, Safa. Jason's a real person. Jason's someone I've hung out in real life more than once. So he's not a troll, but he's done a lot of things on Omegle and whatnot in full Jason from Friday the 13th stuff. Fun guy. We've hung out a couple times. Oh, fucking hell, yes, Abigail. As soon as we're allowed to associate, come across for another whiskey tasting, definitely. So, Jason, what have you been doing? You've been juggling pandemic, putting out last year's videos, being a dad. I didn't know you were a dad, man. Oh my God, that's so cool. I would love to catch up with you and meet your bubba who's 14 months old. Oh man, that is so cool. That is so and yes, look, technically you're a troll. Brother, technically I'm a troll. Technically I am also a troll. Yes, Stella, you agree Unexpected is a terrible name. I'm going to make a video for my YouTube channel and I'm definitely going to take the piss out of them for that name. It's like, guys, it's like you did too much cocaine in the marketing room and you thought that was clever. It doesn't quite land. Honestly, it doesn't quite land. I just don't think the microphone picked that up. Sorry, there are people in the kitchen. I'm having communiques that you don't really. Sorry, no, I can't stop laughing, and you all don't know what I'm laughing at. But trust me, there's stuff happening in the kitchen that is worth laughing at. Long story. I blame it all on the Optifast, quite honestly. That's what it comes down to. Oh, I didn't tell you all. And Celtic, I should have said it when Celtic King was here because he would have got quite excited. I ordered a new kilt. I don't know what it was. Actually, I think it was literally lockdown, and the news of lockdown kind of pissed me off. And I don't know what it was. I just went, I want to get another kilt. And so I've ordered and paid for another kilt in a different style to my previous utility kilt. It'll probably take weeks, if not months. I think the last one took 4 to 6 weeks to arrive. So I think it'll be for summer. The kilt will be for summer. And it actually has tartan on it. So I'm looking forward to getting this one. And yeah, I think Celtic King would be quite excited that I was getting another kilt. So yeah. But kilts are going to be my summer wear, I think. So Jason, no one knows you're a dad. Your bub's name's Peter. There's the energy of the world. Full night sleeper at 2 months. Dude, that's a fucking miracle. Full sleeper at 2 months? That's a miracle. Loves curries, dark chocolate, and Vegemite. Oh, dude, I can't wait till we're able to circulate a bit, which who knows when the hell that will be. Oh, man, that is so cool. That is so cool. I am so freaking thumbs up for you, man. That is so cool. So anyone can wear a kilt, man. Go on one of the sites and get a utility kilt. Nog, your break's over. Thanks for dropping in, man. Safa, yes, I thought he said clit as well, honestly. You don't want to be wearing clits. Abigail, no one knows if you're a cat, but you think your son's figuring it out? Oof. So, oh, man. Okay. I'm going to do a review on the Applewood site. Their Australian bush food gins are very good martini gins. They've just got a really clean taste. Sometimes gins can be very piney and medicinal. These ones, there's definite, like, juniper is front and center in all of them as far as I'm concerned. But they're very clean tasting gins. They make really good martinis. Oh, fuck me, I love a martini. And again, 2 years ago, I wouldn't have. It's weird how much your palate changes. 2 years ago, I would not have been mad for martini. Like this one, even though there's some sweet vermouth in it, it's dry and possibly even a little bit bitter, but in a good way. Because we want the whole spectrum of tastes for things, sweet and what are the taste things? Sweet, salty, savory. There's not umami. It's bitter and sweet. Sweet. So, Jason, you're waiting for Pfizer. Do okay with vaccines? Don't do with blood tests. Yeah, that's a talk to a doctor thing. The whole thing. I worry that various governments and media outlets have overhyped potential complications from AstraZeneca, but you should absolutely talk to a doctor who understands your actual health conditions about which one's right for you. I don't really have anything going on, so AstraZeneca is good for me. And I'm going to have my second dose on Tuesday. Then I'm fully 5G'd and vaccinated. Abigail, astringent. That's a good word about taste. Astringent. This is it's just nice. And again, no doubt, 2 years ago, I would not have liked this. 2 years ago, I would not have liked this. But your palate changes. And this is not just with drink, with food as well. I fucking love martinis. I love really fucking boozy drinks, honestly. I'm a pisshead. Safra, if your doctor's unavailable, what would you do? Talk to a doctor. It doesn't need to be like someone who really knows you, but look, okay. In simple terms, the risk of complications from a vaccine, and this depends on your age and underlying conditions and whatnot, but the risk posed by vaccines compared to the risk posed by actually getting COVID, the risks posed by COVID are between 1,000 and 1,000,000 times more likely to happen. Like the risks, it's basically the risks posed by vaccines are here, and the risks posed by COVID are here. There are variances depending on your age and your medical history and other things. But in really broad terms, the risk of a complication from a vaccine are somewhere between 1 in 10,000 and 1 in a million. Sorry. Complications 1 in 10,000 to 1 in 100,000. Risk of death is about 1 in a million. With COVID itself, risk of complications are about 1 in 5, and that's for everyone. Risk of death is somewhere between 1 in 10 and 1 in 20. So COVID is so much worse than the vaccines. Ruka-san, hello. Kind of brain dead. Assume said something about realizing it was, dude, we're good. And yes, speaking of people I've hung out with, Ruku-san, definitely a dirty old man. Definitely someone who's fun to hang out with. Holy fucking shit. Laura, you got 10 liters of alcohol. I thought I was doing well when I got, oh no, it's more than 1.5 liters because I also got some sweet vermouth. So it's like 2 liters of alcohol, but 10 liters of alcohol. That's great. Chronic potato, based on numbers, chance of dying of COVID, no. 1 in 200 for dying from COVID. It's more like 1 in 50, honestly. But yeah, there are a whole bunch of variants. But yes, COVID is just so much more dangerous than the vaccines. Ruka-san, I think you're fun to hang out with. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. So cool. The chat's full of people I've hung out with. Mega Leech and Safa and Abigail and a few others. Oh, sorry. Mega Leech was saying, if the fiery ringburn from Chelly taste buds in your rectum. And Heine, someone I've hung out with. I remember years ago, the video is still on my YouTube channel. This is from Christ 12 years ago or more. One of the local lads, he had this whole thing. He bought a bottle of the super hot chili sauce from Nando's, because you can buy the chili sauce. And he was just seeing how much of it he could drink. And he's like necking this super hot chili. And he almost threw up on the video because his stomach's just going, no, this is bad. But he didn't throw up, but he almost did. And so I've got this video of him necking this super hot chili and then leaning over a garden going, huh, huh. And it's pretty funny. But what was funnier is he was texting me 6 hours later going, this is fucked. It burns when it comes out the other end. It's like, oh, dude, it was clearly such a terrible thing to do. Heidi, you're getting mentally ready for another knockdown. So am I, Mo. So am I. Mega Leech, you like Frank's red hot sauce? I don't like hot sauce at all. Laura, did I see your post above? Yes, 10 liters. Oh, it was isopropyl alcohol, not for drinking. Sorry, my bad. I thought you just meant alcohol, like this stuff. So, Jason, you wouldn't want to be one of the 98% of survivors spending the rest of life on oxygen. There's like, oh my God. There's shit. It's kind of like, okay, so globally, it seems like the death rate from COVID is about 2%. And there's a huge amounts of variables about your age and health and whatnot, about whether it's likely to kill you and whatnot. But if you want a real introduction to statistics, if you think 1 or 2% is a low number, just get diagnosed with COVID and get told there's a 1% chance you'll die. You suddenly realize that's a real fucking number. But anyway, so globally, the numbers suggest between 1 and 2% fatality rate. But the numbers also suggest up to 20% medium to long-term to permanent health effects, long COVID. We still don't know. That's going to take 5-10 years. It's fucking fucked up. Chronic potato. Death rate, yes. The death rate is definitely dependent on the healthcare system in your country. There's just the death rate, there's a huge amount of variables. And globally, it's averaging to 1 or 2%. But that's the thing. People are going, 1%, that's like nothing. No, you just wait till you're diagnosed positive and you'll realize a 1% chance of dying is scary as fuck. But a 1 in 5 chance of medium to long to permanent health damage, that's really fucked. Oh, Ruki-san. Oh, Laura does a shit ton of 3D printing. Has shared stuff with it. It's really good. Oh, so Laura, the isopropyl is for your 3D modeling, stripping stuff off. Okay, that makes sense. Yes, Safa, Indonesia's fucked. There are scary stories coming out of Africa. There are scary stories coming out of North and South America. Scary stories coming out of Europe. Basically, there are scary stories everywhere. So, Jason, you're saying it's being spread based on 1814. Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to lose your sense of taste and smell and breathing. But yeah, no, there is oof. We literally don't know at this point. But the idea that 10 to 20% of the population is going to suffer medium to long term to permanent disability is very bad. Like chronic fatigue, if someone is just fucked for 6 or 12 months, that is bad. That is bad for them as an individual. But if 10 to 20% of the population is fucked for 6 or 12 months, that's bad economically for everyone. The cost behind that is just amazing. So, have I mentioned before? I hate the people who deny that COVID's a serious, real thing and don't wear masks and they want to do their protests and shit. I fucking hate them. I fucking hate them so fucking much. Oof. Oh my God. I've just got to wait till Tuesday for my second dose. And then, if I remember, and I could be completely wrong, but if I remember rightly, it's like 2 weeks for it to really work through your system and get maximum benefit. So from then on, I'm quite well protected from contracting coronavirus. But the important thing, I'm extremely well protected from serious illness. So even if I contract the virus, it's overwhelmingly likely that I won't develop serious illness. Like way, not 100%, but very close to it. Very high 90s likely I won't contract serious illness, which I'm really looking forward to. So Laura, you've with your isopropyl alcohol, you use neat. It's crap for stripping paint. Chuck in a little water, it activates, and the paint falls off. That's really fucking chemistry, Laura. It's amazing. Nettie, I'm going a little bit over because I kind of got the shits with another fucking lockdown. And again, I don't have the shits at Dan. I don't have the shits that we're locking down because it's the right thing to do. I got the shits with everything. I got the shits with Scotty from marketing fucking up the vaccine rollout, with him fucking up border control and quarantine. I got the shits with the New South Wales government for being locked into their ideology and not doing a proper lockdown. The only fucking reason we've got COVID in Victoria is because of fucking New South Wales. Fuck that shit. Makes me so fucking angry. And so I've just kind of got the shits. So I'm drinking more than I normally would on a Thursday. Jason, if you can't breathe properly, can't wear a balaclava. Yes. You can't do cosplay, Jason. If your breathing is impaired, you can't do your cosplay. Also, looking after your son. Yeah. Safi, you have a friend who's a COVID denier. What do you do? Dude, there's not much you can do. Just don't let it stress you, for fuck's sake. I don't even know what that comment means, Abigail. 70% IPA and 100% IPA. I don't know what that means. Would I say I'm an angry Aussie? Yeah, Laura, agoraphobia. All the agoraphobics are coming to their own in the last 18 months. Oh, you want me to stay at home and isolate and not interact with anyone? I've been building up to this my whole life. Oh, IPA is isopropyl alcohol. Okay. Yes. Okay, Laura. I think you probably know Abigail's got a 3D printer as well. Ha! Sorry, Raiders. Conservative Texas politician died 5 days after posting anti-vax meme. It is kind of fun tracking the COVID deniers who've died. I think Herman Cain's the highest profile one. That's pretty fucking funny. It's about a year ago that he died. Shane, hello. Good evening. How you doing? Jason, add in churches got their hands on JobKeeper. Oh, the number of people who exploited JobKeeper is fucking criminal. Absolutely fucking criminal. Ruki-san, you're essential. Man, I'm not. In as much as I've been working from home since April last year. How so many was 12, May, June, July, August. So I'm up to 16 months working from home, which I fucking love, quite honestly. So, okay, Abigail, 70% RPA is good for cleaning, 100% is for electronics. Okay. When did Kanye come up? So I just see you mentioning Kanye. I don't know when that came up. Oof. Okay, I'm not going to drink any more alcohol tonight. I might drink some more water. Oh yeah, Safa. I think plumbers are essential. That's a good one. Laura, you have a 2-liter spaghetti tube which you use for stripping models. Fill it with IPA. Half my god. Okay. Chronic potato. It's criminal how the government completely excluded university sector from JobKeeper. I agree. Oh my god, the way they fucked over the university sector is terrible. Definitely. Abigail, you heard Senate passed the Greens bill to outlaw large companies from accessing JobKeeper and those that pay it back. If that's true, that's great. Because yeah, fuck Harvey Norman. Fuck that shit. And Jason, you think COVID deniers like people that drink and drive. You want them to die alone around a tree, but they'll take people with them. Oh, yes. And if they don't kill them, they leave them scarred for life. Dude, that is a very good simile. That is a very good simile. If all the COVID deniers did was kill themselves, I'd be happy, but they kill other people too. Raiders on a bill passed today, which means JobKeeper earned by Jerry Harvey is required to be returned. That's what Abigail's saying. I hope it's true. I fucking hope it's true. Jerry Harvey's a fucking cunt. He's a fucking cunt. In so many ways, it's not just Jerry Harvey. It's not just one thing about him that's fucked. Jerry Harvey is so fucked on so many fucking levels. Christ, I fucking hate Jerry Harvey. It's okay, 10:15. I should drink a little bit of water before going to bed. Even though that's probably just going to make me have to get up and piss in the middle of the night. But I'll cope. Ugh. Put my breathing headgear on. Records how many times I take it off and put it back on. I'm sure. Oh, yeah, where's my phone? It's here. Yes, Safa, I thoroughly agree. Pouring drinking water out of that thing sounds like someone pissing. Absolutely sounds like someone pissing. Oh, Ruka said, no two ways about it. Jerry Harvey spends most of his time going, fuck poor people. There's a meme that goes around, because there's a picture of Hitler hanging out with some children wearing lederhosen. And apparently Hitler hated the photo because he thought it made him look frivolous. And I've seen this as a meme, like Hitler wearing lederhosen and smiling, and someone saying, well, this weirds me out because that's like Hitler being a normal person, and I've never seen him like that. And that's really weird. And someone said, what, do you think Hitler was just this evil person who woke up in the morning rubbing his hands together and going, Jews? And the person replied, yes, that's how I see Hitler. But this is when we get into the banality of evil. Evil people just do really ordinary, banal things. But, Ruka-san, I absolutely believe Jerry Harvey wakes up in the morning and rubs his horrible they're like crow claws, his hands, and he just goes, fuck the poor people. I believe that's how Jerry Harvey starts every day. Because I believe Jerry Harvey is fucking awful, basically. Ugh. Look at the slurpy ASMR there. So Laura, drink drive. Oh yes, drink drive has pissed me off too. We live in the third biggest city in the UK. 4 to 6 traffic cops. 2 of them share a Twitter feed. And their shift, they get at least 1 drunk driver. 4 to 6 of them. Yeah. Oh yeah. People will get away all the time. Yeah. No. Drink drivers are fucked. And this is the one thing. It's like because I make the cocktails and do what people think I'd be sort of like everyone should drink. No, if you want to make me really angry, pressure someone who doesn't want to drink into drinking. If someone goes, oh no thanks, I don't want to drink, fucking be 1,000,000% supportive of them. If I'm ever with, whether it's just talking on the internet or whether I'm out with someone and they go, I don't want to drink alcohol, I'm like, cool, I'm with you. Don't drink alcohol. Don't drink alcohol. So that's one thing. Just the idea of trying to coerce someone who doesn't want to drink alcohol into drinking alcohol is fucked. But the idea of drinking and driving, that's just a fucking abomination. So I think I surprise people sometimes if someone goes like, because I'm always like doing the cocktails and whatnot. And if someone goes, oh, I'm a teetotaler, I think drinking alcohol is bad. I am 100% on their side. I will always support someone who doesn't want to drink alcohol, who thinks drinking alcohol, has bad effects. I will always support them. What I will not support is anyone who tries to coerce someone into drink. In fact, anyone who tries to coerce someone into doing anything they don't want to do, whether that's drinking alcohol or doing drugs or having sex or being religious, basically coercing anyone into doing anything they don't want to do is bullshit. Yes, Jason. I think that hands clasped scheming thing, that's very Murdoch. I think Murdoch wakes up every morning and goes, destroy society, destroy the poor. I think that's Murdoch every morning, definitely. So Laura, as a vulnerable road user, a cyclist, distracted or inhibited motorists scare the hell out of you. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. Laura, okay. I get that you're making a joke there. What about coercing people into getting the vaccine? I will just be into telling people the real facts about vaccination and not getting vaccinated. And I will categorically tell someone who's refusing vaccination they're a fucking piece of shit. And I absolutely get that you were making a joke there, but it's kind of like saying, what about coercing people into not murdering babies? Like, there are certain things that people simply shouldn't do. There are certain things that people should do. And I absolutely get you were making a joke, but yes, someone who is refusing vaccine without a solid medical reason is a fucking piece of shit, and I kind of want to go them with a cricket bat, quite honest. Yes, Megalich says it, Mr. Burns. They're all fucking Mr. Burns. Fucking Rupert Murdoch and all the oligarchs, just mad Mr. Burns energy. Yeah, Ruka said that's the shocked reaction. Wait, we shouldn't? Are you saying we shouldn't murder babies? Wait, what? Why was this not brought to my attention earlier? The whole shouldn't murder babies thing. Wow. Okay. Sorry. No one has really brought this front and center to me before. Now you're saying we shouldn't murder babies? Oh my god. Okay, that changes everything. Like, fucking hell. Okay, well, I'm clearly going to hell. Oh yeah, no, Laura, yes, no, I know you were joking. I know it was tongue in cheek, and I'm not at all affronted. But because again, I think we know each other well enough that we can make jokes like that. And this is really weird. It's kind of like oh my god, the the shit Aidsy and I say when it's just the two of us together is stuff we should probably be imprisoned for, quite honestly. Like occasionally we'll say stuff in the stream, but seriously, the stuff Aidsy and I say to each other when no one's around is stuff like we should be in prison for, quite honestly. for the stuff we say and the stuff we go on with. Someone should stop us. Someone should stop us, quite honestly. But Megaleech, still murder fetuses? Oh yeah, I hate fetuses. I fucking hate. We don't kill enough fetuses, quite honestly. Fetuses get too much of a free ride, as far as I'm concerned. And look, literally anyone in the world can take that out of context and try and make me look bad, and I don't fucking care. I just don't fucking care, quite honestly. Because there are worse things in the world, honestly. So I should go to bed now. Having said that, there's like nothing else to be said, and I should just go to bed. It's just like, yeah, Ruger said, post it to Twitter, man. Just clip that little bit with no context and put it on social media. Because I deserve it. Honestly, I deserve it. It says, it's as simple as that. What are you gonna do? It's just like when people talk to me about, like, cancel culture. I'm like, cancel culture is not a thing. And they say, oh, what about when someone did this shitty thing? And I went, no, that's just people being shitty. That's literally just people being shitty. But and people are shitty. Oh yeah, Megaleech, various trolls will do that, and I literally don't care. But that's it. Look, what's it? Oh my god, it's coming up on 10:30. Woofed, and I've drunk much more than I normally would on a Thursday night. I'm blaming that on being in another lockdown, and I've got the shits about another lockdown. I'm going to put all my stuff away. I'm going to go to bed, go to bread, and be back for a bit of a party night tomorrow night. I think I know what I'm going to do for my cocktail channel. I'll kind of make a final decision during the day about which cocktails I make, but I think I'm going to do a clarified Singapore sling. I'm going to do 2 pisco sours, one with a Peruvian pisco and one with a Chilean pisco. And I kind of have to just make a final decision on what the third one was. Maybe a shaken cocktail, because I want my catchphrase for making cocktails to be putting a Boston shaker together, putting 2 halves together, bang it in hard. I want that to be my catchphrase that I'm known for. Bang it in hard. Because sex, okay? I'm just going, that's how I have sex. Bang it in hard. Don't have sex with me is what I'm saying. Oh my god. Okay. Yep, I've definitely put a bunch of incriminating things. Yes, Megaleech, double fisting, because I'm going to make 2 pisco sours. So the pisco sour video will absolutely be double fisting. I've put enough sound bites out there that pathetic, worthless, sad fuck trolls can take stuff out of context and try and make me look bad. And I just don't care. I literally do not care. But I'm gonna fucking clean up a little bit, put my booze bottles away, and go to bed, go to bread, and hopefully see you fine people tomorrow night for a bit of a party night. Jesus, anyone who expects anything out of me at work tomorrow is fucking dreaming. As far as I'm gonna do some work. Work at home. I'll be at my laptop, and someone messages me. I was just like, What the fuck? We're locked down. Why the fuck are you hassling me? I'm doing some shit, okay? Get all the way off my back at the moment, okay? We'll see how tomorrow goes. Basically, gonna go to bed. See you all tomorrow. See anyone who's up for tomorrow. And I kind of feel like I should have done Angry Bunch tonight, but definitely we'll do Angry Bunch tomorrow so we can hang, we can have laughs, we can have chats, we can do all sorts of things. I'll try and remember to message AZ during the day to see when, and see if he wants to come on and monologue for many hours tomorrow night. Oh wow, Laura, you're going to go to bed, even though it's AM for you because you've been up all night. All right, we'll go to bed. We'll go to bed. I'm going to go to bed now. Thank you, fabulous people, for joining me. See you another time, but I will say